Hello YouTube, so today we do tier lists. I thought the best content to begin talking about Pokemon Unite on this channel in a very consistent way was starting from beginners, right? If you want to come back to the game, especially now that the game is growing up and for spooky season, and then probably in the future merging with China, becoming big and working out as expected, I hope. I think starting to understand how to have a good start with this game that already has a lot of Pokemon you can choose from, a lot of heroes, is a very nice start point. So let's begin. I divide them by category so that you understand how the category feel in difficulty levels. Let's start. Charizard, it's a free Pokemon you can get. I will place them here and then decide. And then you can get it for free, and it suffered a little bit from that because it wasn't strong for a long time. Now Charizard's ultimate cannot be stopped, so it means you just throw it and it works. It's incredibly strong. You need to aim a little bit if you play Flamethrower, but you can do Fire Punch and Flare Blitz, so you can also use sure hit moves. I think Charizard is simple, solid, strong in the game. A very nice pick. The only thing that you need to do is level up, so keep in mind you need to farm a lot. Besides that, the Pokemon is very easy and very comfortable to play. So yeah, I feel like placing it in simple. Lucario. Lucario is not the strongest Pokemon at the moment, but has very strong moves, and the extreme speed build is extremely hard, while the close combat build is easier, so I think it's a borderline. It's still very strong, you don't even need to evolve, which is a plus. But I wouldn't recommend it to begin. Mewtwo X, also borderline, not the strongest at the moment, even if it was an EX Pokemon. But it has been nerfed a lot, plus you need to fight close. I think it's basically Lucario tier of difficulty. You need to use your Mega Evolution to succeed. So yeah, I think we are here, around here. Blaziken. Blaziken is stronger than the two, has a lot of combos you need to understand how to use, you need to aim. That's something you cannot avoid, but everything you do is very strong. So it's debatable. I think it's either borderline or accessible. I will put it in accessible just because it's very strong. If you like the gameplay, stick to it. If you don't, it has a learning curve. You need to invest in this. But if you're good at it, you will be very good part of the team for now. Alright, Mimikyu. Mimikyu is very complex, has a lot of combos that need to understand how to move in the battlefield and what to take care of first. So also it's spooky season, so you probably want to play, but keep in mind you need to learn a little bit to make use of Mimikyu the best. The ultimate is very easy, it's point and click, but the rest is quite complex, I would say. Complexities. Tyranitar needs 2 evolutions, after that it's pretty okay, but I would still say it's a complex Pokemon because you start very weak. Sword, Aegislash, is also very complex, relies a lot on combos you can do, on parries you can do, so it's advanced. If you like it, you need a lot of time to practice with it, and it's not the strongest Pokemon right now. Zacian is easier, you still need to chase well, and time your moves so that they hit. They are not sure hits, so you need to work. But it's borderline, it's not impossible to play. Azumarill, I think it's accessible because it evolves a level 9, it evolves a level 4, and you have Aquatail, which is not too hard to use. You just need to hit the enemies in the sweet spot, and that's it. Also has a lot of recovery. It's not the strongest Pokemon in the game, but it's still very accessible to play, it's not hard. Urshifu now is pretty strong. I think Dark Urshifu, you need to time the last hits, because that's the gimmick of the Pokemon. You have a very strong last hit, but it's not hard to play. Accessible for sure, also very strong. Buzzwole, yeah, also accessible. Same applies. It's a very brawly Pokemon, you start evolved, unlike Urshifu. So yeah, maybe it's a little bit weaker than Urshifu at the moment, but starting evolved is a plus. Tsareena is borderline. You start unevolved, you need to evolve 2 times, but it evolves early, then you need to stomp and the Tropic Kick most of the times. Yeah, it's not too hard because drop kick gives you a lot of mobility and stomp is easy to use, you just stomp your enemies. At the same time, you need to evolve at the beginning, you need to stack. So yeah, it's borderline. I like it, I started with it, I had a lot of fun. So I think you can enjoy it, but I wouldn't say it's exactly accessible. It's probably borderline top of the tier or something like that. Phalanx. Phalanx is not hard to play. The problem is Phalanx is not strong at the moment. So I would say borderline and that's it. Water Shifu. Water Shifu is very easy to play. You just need to understand that you need to use a basic attack in between all your moves, basically. And it's stronger than Dark Shifu at the moment, so I think it's very accessible. Maybe it's even easy. You need to evolve, which is a bother at the beginning. Yeah, top of the tier accessible. Ceruledge is simple, fun, if you know what build to use. If you use Psycho Cat together with Flame Charge, I think it's called, it's very easy to take care of the enemies. You just need to aim at them, cut them down, and use Flame Charge for positioning you, like to run away, to chase the enemy. It's simple, it's strong, it evolves pretty early, so you should be fine. I think Ceruledge is a very good pick to begin with this game. Dragonite. Dragonite, you need to evolve 2 times, then you can use Outrage. Outrage is very strong, but you need to evolve first, so it's borderline. I would say maybe accessible. No, I would say borderline. Garchomp, on the other hand, is just basic attacks most of the times. The ultimate is not a sure hit, but it's not the main part of the kit. You need to aim for the dragon moves. So yeah, borderline as well. They're similar in a way. Gyarados. Gyarados is so strong that I would say it's simple because it's strong. You start as Magikarp, which may seem difficult to use. You just need to keep in mind to score and beat wild Pokemon and try getting those on the enemies. You will be weak, but it doesn't matter. As soon as you evolve, you are very strong in the team. So from my point of view, it's simple because it's strong for now. Metagross, you need 2 evolutions. It's not game-changing at the moment, so I would say it's borderline? Yeah, borderline because it's not overpowered. Scizor, very easy to play. Sarsa's Cider, which is already pretty strong, then evolves, is very resilient. Even if it's not strong, I think it's simple to play at the very least. Machamp. Machamp needs 2 evolution, plus it's not strong. That's a problem, because it's not a hard Pokemon to play. So I would say it's borderline. Yeah. So as you can see, all the all-rounders are not hard to play, and in general they are very resilient, they have HP, which makes them less critical to play, because you have enough room to run away if you're in trouble. So yeah, the curve is like borderline, some are simple, a good amount are accessible, just 3 are complex. Venusaur. Venusaur is simple, honestly. You just use the Petal Dance Giga Drain build and you're fine. You need to evolve 2 times, so the second evolution is level 7. You just need to aim with Razor Leaf, so I think it's between simple and accessible. If you use Solar Beam, it's harder, of course, but for the other build, it's simple. I think it's also strong. Armarouge is basically the same thing, but it's simpler, because yeah, you have Fire Spin and Charge, and the Pre-Evolution is a little bit simpler. So yeah, they are together, they are simple, they're both simple. Okay, Owl, I don't know, the Seaduai is probably complex because you need to aim, right? And you need to evolve, and sometimes that's a pain. Yeah. It's definitely complex. I don't know if I should tell you not to play at the beginning, but if you love aiming, you can still aim at a distance. Has a very strong last hit. No, but it's very complex. So I will put it into the don't tier for now, because it's not the easiest Pokemon to start the game with. You can be very frustrated because it has a very low HP. So if you get killed, yeah. Glaceon is extremely simple if you use Icicle Short, I think it's called. But in general, now it's not very strong, so maybe you can find yourself in trouble. But still, the gameplay is extremely simple, you evolve early. So yeah, simple bottom of the tier. It's not too strong, that's the problem. Mewtwo Y is very simple. You just need to auto attack, so that's it. Yeah, you just need to use your Mega Evolution when you want to get KOs. I think it's simple. Miraidon. Miraidon is a speedster. If you use Thunder and Thunderbolt, Thunder? How is it called? Yeah, something like that. No, Charge Beam and Thunder. I think it's easier, but still pretty complex. Yeah, complex it is. Gardevoir ranged, so it's complex, you need to aim, that's it. But it's very fun to play, not broken at the moment. Is it borderline though? I don't know, I don't think so. You need to, yeah. You need to aim and you need to survive. Same with Delphox. Sylveon is extremely simple, it's not the strongest Pokemon in the game. But honestly, now that Hyper Voice is even simpler, and the other set is also simple, Sylveon is an incredibly good Pokemon to begin with. Same with Espeon, honestly. You just need to aim with the Psybeam, and you should play it. But for the rest, evolve very early, as much as Sylveon. Mew, no, don't play it for now. It's extremely complex, you need a lot of time. Set with something simpler. Same applies with Cramorant. Cramorant has a lot of combos, but it's very hard to play. Chandelure, you need to aim, and you need to aim a lot. If you use Hover Hit, it's easier, but in general, no, I would say it's complex. Okay, Ninetales, Alolan Ninetales, pretty accessible. You don't have many ways to run away, that's the problem. But you help easy, so I would say accessible. Okay, Duraludon, if you play, you don't want to play with Cannon, but Flash Cannon, of course. But it's not too hard, the other set is not too hard. Some find it boring. You need to know where to place the Stealth Rocks because it's a very strong move. Yeah, accessible. Inteleon, if you use Liquidation and Acrobatics, I think it's accessible. If you use Snipe Shot, it's extremely complex. So yeah, use the easy set, it's accessible. Not too easy, but Pikachu is great to start. Tackle and Thunderbolt, they are wonderful to start. So yeah, you can do that. The other set is you need to aim, but this set here is incredible and you help your allies a lot. Just need how to understand how to take KOs, and that the ultimate you need to be like to hit a lot of enemies, but yeah, it's simple. Cinderace, very fragile, very hard to take advantage of, that's a problem. Yeah, it's probably complex for that. Could be borderline. Don't need to aim with the strongest build, but you need to evolve, that's the problem. Yeah, I would place it in complex, because the ultimate is also a move you need to use well. Okay, Dragapult. Dragapult is easier, it's an auto-attacker, so it's accessible by itself. It starts very weak, but when it evolves and takes KOs, pretty strong. It's fragile though. So yeah, attacking with it is not hard. Just need to capitalize on KOs and stealth if you use Atom Force, I think it's called. Then you have Greninja. Greninja is the same applies with Cinderace, I think. Yeah, complex because you need to know how to play it. If you main it and you understand the combos, it's very strong. Okay, now let's talk about Speedsters, one of the most complex category in the game because they are very fragile and very good at dealing damage. Okay, Talonflame. Talonflame is hard to play, I think. Yeah, complex. Dodrio don't, if you don't know how to move with Dodrio. And it has a completely different way to move, but it's super strong. Yeah, don't at the beginning, but if you learn it, it's incredible. Absol is easier, not too simple though, because it has a lot of combos you need to take care about, so it's maybe borderline. Zeraora is easier, honestly. You have the discharge build, it's very easy, you don't need to aim, so it's accessible from my point of view. Zoroark don't, a lot of combos. If you use feint attacks, maybe it's a little tiny bit easier, but still very fragile, so I would say, yeah, don't. For now, it's very fun to play, but give it time. Scyther, not Scizor, is fine, but still very fragile. Borderline, I would say. And the Leafeon is pretty easy. You can use Solar Blade and you evolve early, but it's not too easy to let me say, just play it, you'll be happy with it. Yeah, it's probably borderline. Darkrai we don't really know for now, but it looks borderline to me. Meowscarada, complex, for sure. You don't have many HP. Hungary is easy to play with the X build, but you need to evolve, you need to know how to play in lane. If you don't jungle, in lane is much harder. So yeah, borderline. Nothing more than that. Okay. Now we go to defenders. I think they're not too hard to play, but they may be hard to win sometimes. Slowbro, incredibly easy, wonderful, strong, even if it has been nerfed. Blastoise needs to evolve, so it's one tier below, maybe even two. I know many has a lot of struggle with evolving into Blastoise. Now it's earlier though, the ultimate is very strong. You can eject back on the ultimate into the enemy, but it's not the strongest Pokemon in the game for now, so borderline. Mamoswine can basically freeze the opponent, so I think that helps the team a lot, so it's accessible. It's also very strong early. 3 stronger with less effort, has a lot of sustain, a lot of stun and CC, very strong, simple. Greed and Daunt, it's not a defender, it's an harasser, it's very hard to play. Also, it's not very strong at the moment, so no. Ho-Oh is interesting. You need to use the ultimate to revive the allies, and you need to learn how to do that, but in general, Flamethrower is very easy. You just need to understand how the moves work. After that, the Pokemon is solid. I think it's accessible. Crustle, I don't know. It's not too hard to play, but you need to aim your rocks and such. And or X-Scissor, yeah, borderline. Lapras too weak to play for now, so it's complex. Umbreon is easy. Not too easy though. So I would say accessible. Snorlax is complex because you just tank. The main build is just tanking, and it's not easy to just tank. Goodra is super simple. You need to evolve, but you're very resilient, you never die. Even if you don't deal much damage. I think it's not too hard, honestly. I like it. Try it. Okay, now we pass to supports. Supports are the key of the game in a way. They are the win the game Pokemon, differently from other categories. If you use them well, you help a lot. Blissey now it's not broken, doesn't have much things to basically fight the opponents, but it's very easy to heal with. I think it's accessible. Wigglytuff is very complex to have good performance with, so I would say complex. It's not complex the Pokemon, but having performances, it is. Comfey is more tricky than one would expect, because if you want to heal, you need to jump in the bushes and then jump back on the Pokemon. But I can't say Comfey is complex, so I would say it's accessible. It's not even borderline. Don't stay on the Pokemon all the time. Go to the bushes, recharge your flowers, go back. That's the idea. Sableye, absolutely don't. It's not very strong at the moment, and it's also very complex to play. It's a harasser. Psyduck, we don't know much, but I expect it to be fine. The ultimate is easy to use, based on what I've watched on YouTube. The moves are also not too hard, but you need to aim, so I would say borderline. Mr. Mime is a borderline Pokemon. You have a lot of combos, and it becomes extremely strong. It's not really a supporter. It's more of a DPS, tanky DPS. And you have a lot of builds you can use to... Yeah, borderline. If you love it, Barrier with Confusion, extremely strong. Okay, Eldegoss is easy. You just need to know how to survive and how to aim your Pollen Puff. That's it. But if you don't want to play Pollen Puff, if you don't want to aim it, maybe it's a bit more complex. But across the healers, it's the easiest. You have a lot of auto-attack potential. Hoopa complex, you need to know how to use it well to have very good impact with the Pokemon. But the Pokemon is extremely strong at the same time. So if you learn it, very strong. Is it borderline though? You just need to learn how to use the portal. You need to learn how to use the other portals too. No, it's complex. You have to learn how to place portals basically. And lastly, Clefable. Clefable is good in team fights. So it's not that Clefable is hard to play. is that you need a team that collaborates with you, basically. So it's borderline. It doesn't depend on you. That's the problem. And that's the tier list. So as you can see, the most easy part of the game is between attackers and all-rounders. Then you have a few tanks that are easy to use and tank on the front line. Supporters are a little bit more complex based on the fact that you need to know how to help your allies. Maybe someone will argue with me and tell me that Eldegoss is actually simple or Comfey is actually simple. But I think both need a little bit of expertise to understand how to help the best. Pollen Puff, you don't need to aim it at the enemy always, you also want to aim it at the ally. So that's the point, that's the reason why they are not too simple. As you can see, all-rounders are in the middle. There are a lot of solid ones here in the accessible or borderline tiers. And also you notice that speedsters are never too easy, besides maybe Zeraora. They're usually borderline or complex. And then there are a few picks from each category that are very weird to play, so or you need to aim, you need to use different movement mechanics, or you need to harass the enemy. Those are very complex, there's no doubt. I call it the don't tier because it's a D tier, but honestly don't do that now, because in the future they are great if you learn how to play them and you will have fun with them for sure. That's it for the tier list. I hope you enjoyed. If you want the image, I will share it with you. Have a nice day. Thank you for following me. If you have any question about the Pokemon you see here, comment down below. I'll be very happy to answer you. I play them all a decent amount, so I think I can help. Get ready for new Pokemon Unite content, and please subscribe if you want more. Have a nice day. This is Nero Atlas, signing out.